No, Novak. How are you feeling coming into the match this morning? We saw you had, or this afternoon, I should say, saw you had some taping on your knee when you arrived at Roland-Garros. Was that a problem before the match?
Well, for the last couple of weeks, I've had, I would say, slight discomfort. I would call it that way in the right knee, but I haven't had an injury that would be concerning me at all. I was playing a few tournaments with it and no issues until today. Of course, late finish from a few nights ago didn't help the sleeping and the biorhythm and recovery, but I actually, felt great coming into the match, as good as I could be under the circumstances, and played really well first set. And then in the third game of the second set, I slipped, one of the many times that I slipped and fell today, and that affected the knee. And then I started feeling the pain and asked for the physio treatment and the medical timeout, and try to take care of it. And it did disrupt me definitely in play for two sets and a half. I didn't want to stay in the rally too long. Every time he would make sudden drop shots or change directions, and I would not be feeling comfortable to do the running. And at one point I didn't know, to be honest, whether I should continue or not. What's happening? I got the medications, and then after the third set was done, I asked for more medications, and I got them. And that was the maximum dose that kicked in, as I heard now from doctor, after 30 to 45 minutes, which was just about the time, kind of end of the fourth, when things started to really improve for me. I started to feel less limitations in my movement, and basically the whole fifth set was almost without any pain, which is great, But then the effect of the medications will not last for too long, so I'll see. I guess we'll do some more screening and tests and checkups tomorrow as well. We've done some with doctor right now after the match. Some positive news, but also some maybe concerns. So let's see tomorrow. I can't tell you more about it at the moment. I'm glad that I was able to play fifth set and last 3-4 games of the fourth without feeling that pain that I felt for 2.5 sets. But yeah, you never know what will happen tomorrow. I've had situations in my career where I had, muscle tears and different things, and played with that during the tournament. I'm not the only one. Many players have played with different injuries. There are medications, anti-inflammatories, stuff that you can do. The adrenaline, of course, that kicks in, that helps you go through the tournament. Sometimes there's a match or two, sometimes the entire tournament. But the good thing about the slam is that you have a day between that will allow, hopefully, the healing process to happen more efficiently for me. That's it. I don't know what will happen, tomorrow or after tomorrow, if I'll be able to step out on the court and play. I hope so. Let's see what happens.
Hi, Novak. So what were the issues with the court, and was that something that you felt from the start of the match, kind of as soon as you came out?
Look, the conditions or the kind of weather circumstances we had this year are quite unusual. We had lots of rain, very damp, muddy, really heavy conditions on the court that affects the court, affects the humidity and everything that affects the surface that is a live surface, as grass, but on grass you can't do much. On hard court, it is as it is, but clay is the surface that you can somehow affect. with some grounds work and grounds care. And when it comes to the quality of the clay courts, Roland-Garros is by far the best in the world. There is no doubt. I know grounds people for many years and have had great relationship with them, and actually talked with one of them today when I was warming up on the center court a few hours before my match, about sweeping the court, every second, third changeover, just giving it a little bit of an extra care, because I felt that today, with sun coming out, thankfully, after long days of rain, it has affected the court. It has affected particularly the upper layers of the clay. I don't know what exactly they've done. It seems like that some of the clay was removed, and so there was very little, almost no clay on the court today. And because of the drier conditions and sun and warmer conditions, it affects the clay in such way that it becomes very slippery. So the injury that I had today with the knee happened exactly because of that, because I slipped and I slide a lot. I mean, everyone slides on clay, but I slipped way too many times. That is quite unusual, Of course, I do, because I have an aggressive kind of movement, dynamic change of directions, and it's normal for me. I've, slipped and fell on the clay many times in my life, and on grass as well. But this was just too many times, today. And I've had a conversation with the chair umpire where I just asked, would it be possible to sweep the court? I understand not every changeover, but every second, every third changeover, not to wait for a set to finish, but to have a, just slightly more frequent care of the court. She said she'll check, and she spoke to the grounds people, or supervisor to grounds people, and the answer was no. And I asked for a supervisor to have a conversation, and I just asked for explanation. And I'm not pointing fingers at someone's blaming whoever, a group or an individual, of why that's the case. I'm just trying to understand in this whole process, what is the damage to the court to sweep it. And anyway, we do it with our feet, before you serve. A lot of players do it. They either clean the line or the space in front where you're going to bounce the ball, or behind. I just don't see how that's damaging to the court. I actually see that that's helpful to us players, at least bringing a little bit more clay, evening clay, behind the court, and just reducing slightly the possibility of slipping, because when you're moving during the point, you're removing the clay, and then all of a sudden, some places you have absolutely no clay. It's just concrete, basically. So, yeah, I know that currently, some of my team members are also having a conversation with Roland-Garros people, just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand why it is, so complicating to do that, and why it is that the answer is constantly no. I don't get it. And we cannot treat these conditions as common conditions. They're not common. We had rain, we had really bad weather for days, even a week. And so that has affected the court itself. And so I'm sure that the grounds people have their hands full, and I know they're working very hard. I mean, I'm not, saying that they are doing it the wrong way. Absolutely not. But, they're doing their best. But I'm just trying to understand, if a player is feeling a certain way, and then, what else do we need to wait for that to happen? I mean, today I injured myself. Yes, I survived. I won the match. Great. But will I be able to play next one? I don't know. I don't know the severity of the injury, but could have this injury be prevented? Possibly, if there was just a little bit more of a frequent care of the court during the set. That's basically all I asked for.
Hi, Novak. Can you pinpoint when the thought occurred to you you might need to stop, and how long that lasted, and why did you keep playing?
Well, right away, I mean, literally when I had that moment of when injury occurred, I had some physio and medical timeout, and the very next game I saw that it's, you know, the care did not help so much of the physio did his best, of course, but, you know, in that moment, maybe you can't solve it. You can maybe help maintain it to a certain level where you're going to allow me to play, which is what Alejandro, physio from ATP, did. And I thank him for that. But I saw that I was not able to do the 100%. I was not able to change directions the way I wanted. I was not able to run on many of the drop shots he played, and he saw it. You know, Francisco saw it, and so he played a lot of drop shots where most of them I just looked at, and that's it, didn't move. Look, I know it's also for him, it's not easy to play against somebody that, you know, is not really moving at his best for 2 sets, and all of a sudden then he starts moving great and playing great. So, you know, of course I understand that that's not a perfect, ideal situation for him. But for me, what happened is what I told you before. I can repeat it again. The reason why I continued is because I really, you know, wanted to see whether an extra anti-inflammatories and medications that I'm going to take are going to kick in and actually help me, you know, reduce some of the limitations, which is what happened. You know, after the third set was done, I asked for doctor to come and give me something extra, and he said, okay, this is it, you know, that's all I can give you right now, and I can't give you more. And it was enough. After 45 minutes it kicked in, and it was enough to enable me to play my best at the end of the match.
Time for 2 more here.
Hello, Novak. You had basically 1 day and a half to prepare this match. I was curious about the way you managed your post-Musetti match time between sleep, care, tennis.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I played petanque, you know, yesterday. And that was as hard of a activity as I had yesterday in Bois de Boulogne with my friends. Yeah, just very easy day, really. I slept most of that day yesterday, and did a lot of physio work and some of the water work as well, some of the exercises in the water that always helps reduce the strain on the joints and muscles, and and try to get the decent sleep again, which I did. So as I said, you know, I came to the court, I warmed up well, first set great, so I didn't feel that the last match has affected me so much that I'm unable to, you know, to run or to sustain the level I played for over 4.5 hours. It was longer than the match against Musetti. So physically, I'm okay. You know, I thankfully I was able to recover quickly. But you know, this is something that happened as unplanned and unpredictable injury, and yeah. So I have to now, I guess, rethink or reprogram with my medical team and physio the recovery time and focus it mostly on the knee.
Just on one more question about the knee. Was there any kind of like trauma that happened in the last few weeks, or is it just something that developed through wear and tear that happens when when you're turning 37 and now 37?
Thanks for reminding me.
Well, thought you might you might have forgotten that
Yeah.
fifth set.
Yeah, I think it was more probably the wear and tear. But again, I'm saying, you know, I did carry it with me for a couple of weeks, but I did not feel that it was affecting me on the court, meaning as soon as I would warm up, I would feel fine. I would run, I would do split slides, whatever. It wasn't any kind of an issue for me when I start to play. When I was cold, that's where I feel the discomfort, etc. So today, again, we did put an extra care and attention to the knee in the last few days, my physio and I. It's like we predicted something might happen. So yeah, that helped, but I don't know. I mean, this today, it's just one of these things when you're on the court. You slip, you do a bad move, you're in an unstable, unbalanced position, and I guess that's probably a weaker part of my body that has had some few weeks of history, I guess, that reacted, and that's all I know for now.